So what's going on, party people? This your boy Calvin back with another video for you guys, and today we are going to take a look at the studio. So it's something that I've gotten some requests about, so I certainly wanted to give you guys the insight on how I'm able to produce these videos for you guys and how I'm able to, just make something that I enjoy, um, I guess a craft or expanding on my craft. So needless to say, I'm going to go through all the equipment that I use, try to remember everything as much as possible. And also just, I may do another video as well on how I actually get my recordings, as far as with the music and stuff like that. But yes, so without further ado, let's dive right in. I'm gonna hit this intro for you real fast and we'll be right back. All right, guys. So as you can see, I haven't moved just yet. I just played the intro and then you're back here. But needless to say, so I want to give you guys an insight on how, things kind of go. So first off, obviously you guys have seen my drum set, but we'll get in details on that. But most of the engineering and work happens on this side. Obviously we have our 21.5 inch iMac that takes care of all of the, digital stuff, I guess you want to say. I do have my two Sterling speakers on either side here. Of course, a honey bun. It gets you gotta get your snack on while you're up here. But yeah, so got my 21.5 iMac, my two speakers. The way that I have it routed, so my interface is a Scarlett 18i20. It allows me to have 8 inputs, and then there's about 16, if I'm not, there's additional inputs and outputs on the back side, which 18i20, the numbers play a factor into that. So, but I do like this because you do have primarily 8 inputs, and I think it's 16 outputs, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. I'm not the techiest person in the world, so y'all forgive me. I'll leave everything down below so you can get all the specs on it. On top of it, obviously, I do have my DVC camera. My dad had a camera that I've been using his initially, but it's a Canon EOS Rebel T3i. So I use both of those now to kind of get a lot of these different shots, to just kind of create some more variety in it. But essentially what happens, so the mic cables, I just have the, just kind of see a couple of them here. I have the GLS audio mic cables. I got the colors to make it more, convenient to the eye. I'm able to track which cable is going exactly where it is. But I do have them, mounted kind of strapped down on the floor. They are running to the two here, 1 and 2 for my kick and snare. The rest are in the back. But they are being, processed through the interface, which then the output is actually leading to the speakers into the computer. So all that information is getting sent here. And so when I play it back, it's coming through here. But I also have a monitoring port over here. I also have a monitoring port. Oh, looking at the camera, not that. Also have a monitoring port here. So that way, whenever I'm doing my recordings or getting ready to start, I can track myself and listen to it, and be able to kind of hear what I'm doing just before I do the recording. So it's good there. And even if I wanted to have a couple other guys in here, it does give me 2 different headsets, so I can actually plug someone else in if I do ever a collaboration. So if you guys are interested in collaborating, definitely let me know down below. But we can definitely get you guys hooked up on the interface here and get everything going there. Quite honestly, that's pretty much it as far as the technical side. It's not too much, nothing too crazy, just enough to, kind of get a good thing. Like I said, I'll probably make another video on the actual process of doing the recording, the engineering, how I mix, all that stuff. So you guys stay tuned for that. But last but not least, at least in this little area over here, we do have the TV with the HDMI cable dragging all the way to the Xbox One. So if you guys are new to the channel, you guys have seen that I've started doing some gaming. There is going to be more of that coming on. I'm still working out some kinks, so I did put a few out to try, just to see how that is. I actually enjoy it a lot. So I'm probably going to do that as a continued thing on the channel. But needless to say, this is everything on this side. Let's go ahead and get you to the main side, where everything happens on the drum set side. So let's flip it over. All right, guys, so before we get to the actual drum set side, I do want to talk about my backdrops here. So I do have my backdrops for really just anything. It makes the room look a little bit more aesthetic. So a lot of my, talking things, or if I happen to do or bring somebody in and we do a couple shots, I'm still able to have, this wall plus the drum wall to have just the kind of that aesthetic look to it, to kind of bring out the pop and the colors that are happening in front of it. So that's the only reason why I brought you to this side. So we're going to go to the drum side now. All right, guys, so we are here behind the kit. So first off, this is a Yamaha writing kit that I was able to get a while back off of Guitar Center. It's a used kit. And you guys have probably seen in the videos of from my drum nut people that have paid attention to kind of some of the finer details. Obviously, I'm using vinyl cymbals. I'm not endorsed by them just yet. We're working on that. Well, building a relationship first off. I primarily do play Vic Firth. Right now, I'm actually using just the standard 5As. So you guys will kind of get like a more closer on shot as I'm going through. But yeah, so my primary snare right now is actually a CB percussion snare. It's just a $50 snare I was able to get out of Guitar Center as well. So good place to go shopping is Guitar Center. Always a fun place to go as I'm trying to get some of that rattle out. So, but this has been my primary snare. I do have the Remo Ambassador coated on top. I am looking to possibly change to one of the color tones. My favorite color is orange, so I obviously had to go with an orange color tone. So that'll be coming in here fairly soon, but I'm facing a decision because I technically have 3 snares. And really, well, I got a 14-inch, so there's 2 of them that come into play as far as which one do I want to use it for. So, but this usually is kind of like my poppier snare. It has a lot of, it's not really like my fatter snare. For that, I do have the Yamaha Stage kit snare that I was able to pick up that I've been using kind of for like our more deeper as a fatter snare. You guys can hear that a little bit. But I do have this as my more fatter snare with the Remo Black X head on top, and of course a just Remo Ambassador snare side. So that's the other one that I'm facing a decision on which one do I want to use. But I may put it on my primary just to kind of keep it as that poppy snare and keep using this one because I like the way it is as far as that deeper tone. And of course, I have a 13-inch piccolo snare from Griffin. It was a snare I picked up off of Amazon just in the time of needing something else to mix with. So I kind of mess with that one in my medium range type snare. So I have one that's high, one that's low, and then one that's kind of in the mid range. So snare sounds are always fun to mess with, but they're tricky sometimes as well, trying to get them exactly where you want it. So, but that's the snares. Tom size is simply 10, 12, 14. I am looking right now currently, probably after our wedding, if you guys know, October 10th, get married. But after the wedding, I am looking to upgrade the kit. I have been looking at least a 5-piece, 6-piece kit, maybe really just the 5-piece without the snare, but looking for 10, 12, a 14, and a 16, just to kind of create a different sound that I'm looking, well, the sound that I'm truly looking for. I do really love this drum set though. At the time, I was kind of just needing one to practice some of the songs that we were doing at the church, and having an actual set that was mine because I haven't had one in so long. But yeah, so head wise, I do have the Remo Emperor Codes on top. I actually still at the time was before the black hairs that you saw, excuse me, the black hairs that you guys saw were Evans. So I still had an Evans full kind of setup. So the Rezo side are actually still the Evans EC Rezos. Really great sound that I get out of them. They definitely are able to be heard in the mix, so they keep it good there. I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not a lot of things going on in this area. I know you guys probably don't see. I am working on a kick cam, by the way, but I do have the Evans EMAD Onyx. I just think that the EMAD technology thing with that outliner and ring is great, and of course, On the other side is a just a regular Rezo with a porthole Evans Rezo bass head. But as far as like I mentioned earlier, you guys, I'm using Mino cymbals. To me, Mino has always had the best sound for what I've heard. I mean, I've played Savy and I've played Zildjian. I haven't really played a lot of Peisty. I would like to try some of their stuff out. So, Peisty, if you guys are watching this, would appreciate some love there. I've seen there's a whole bunch of other cymbals companies out there. Those are just kind of the main three or four that I've thought about. But Mino has always had a different type of sound that I had initially just kind of gravitated to. A lot of my favorite um, drummers are using Mino as well. So that kind of pushed the attraction a little bit as well. So, which it probably should. So, but needless to say, I do still have the HCS line. As you guys saw, probably one of my first drum blogs, I talked about the cymbals that I have. Again, just quickly kind of go through. I did gather a few more in that line. Looking to possibly upgrade them towards the end of the year as well, just to kind of mix and match to create different sounds for you guys. But for the hi-hat, still the same, 14-inch HCS hi-hat. Right now I have the bottom on top. Doesn't really make a difference. But 14-inch HCS hi-hat, kind of just going all the way across, I guess, here, guys. I do have still the 16-inch trash crash. Right on between the two crashes, I have a 8-inch splash. Of course, the same 16-inch crash, or traditional crash. Coming across the kit, you have the 20-inch ride, the 18-inch crash, and then the stack that I have is still the same stack that I kind of fell in love with, which is the reason why I got the 8-inch splash, because I actually wanted a splash in the mix of a stack. But I do have still my 10-inch splash on top of a 12-inch China. So that has been my stack choice. I don't really have anything else. I still do have the Zildjian low volume cymbals that I use to kind of mainly practice first at the time. When I was living in an apartment, I was trying to keep it quiet. I had the silent strokes and all that stuff. But I'm in the house. I can make as much noise as I want for the time being, long as the baby and my wife are asleep. Or not sleep, excuse me. But yeah, so as far as getting the sound from these guys over to that, or the audio wave from it, I do have the Samson DK707 mic kit. You can find that at Guitar Center. I'll leave that down below. I actually got mine though, however, from Sweetwater. So shout out to Sweetwater and Zach for connecting me and hooking me up with the equipment that I use. So, but yes, I do have the DK707 mic kit. It does come with the full 7 mics that you're able to use. The snare mic is not on because I kind of switch back and forth from snares and different songs that I've been doing. But I do have, they give you the Q72s. I believe you get 4 of those. So Q72 mic is just your basic tom snare mics that you have. So I do have that all here, color coordinated to track back to, make life easier when I get over there. You get 2 pencil condenser mics. I'll pull one down so you guys can kind of see it here. But this is the CO2. You get 2 of those here. Throw that thing back up. I'll do my phasing here in a little bit later on, next time I do a video. So like I said, we'll get into the details of how all this process works and getting everything fully set up. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a tour. So, yes, so but yeah, and then I have like this, the Q71, there's the kick mic, which I have been using also for my gaming videos, but I am going to upgrade to get a better mic for that, for vocal. So guys, that's pretty much it. The studio's not too crazy. It's just a couple backdrops, a couple of equipment things to get things running, some basic studio foam you guys may have seen in the corner. I do have a panel kind of back here through this whole little area here to kind of just help deaden the room just a tad bit. It's not perfect. It's not going to catch every nook and cranny right now. But it is working at least somewhat for what I need. So, but you guys, that is pretty much it. I do have a special announcement at the end of this, so you guys stay tuned in 3, 2, 1. Hey, what's going on, party people? Appreciate you guys staying with me this long. Quickly, just want to talk to you guys about my in-ear monitors. So you guys know I did a video on Chunky where I talked about the Bosin headphones. Promise you I'm not gonna be with you for you long. Sound like a pastor. But the Bosin Tempos, I'm currently now using the Bosin Masters, B Masters. I did want to say publicly here that I am officially affiliated, endorsing, whatever you want to call it, Bosin. I'm with the family. I appreciate everything, the love and support that they have given me. I'm trying to give it back to them. So if you guys are in the market for some in-ear monitors, Bosin is definitely the way to go. You can get the Tempos, you can get the B Masters. I'll leave the link down below so you guys can go straight over to their website, check some of their stuff out. I got some other ones on the way. I'm just really excited to be a part of it. So I appreciate Bosin and their support. I was holding on to it in here at the time. Appreciate Bosin and their support. Make sure you guys go follow them on Instagram as well. Check me out on Instagram. Like I said, I didn't want to be long, so that's probably about it. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Y'all be breezy, and I'm out.